Hello everyone, I'm Miranda, and today I will be reviewing Time Between Us by Tamara Ireland Stone, which is one of the best names I've ever heard. This was one of those books I found when I was just strolling through the aisles of Barnes & Nobles, and this is an instant where judging a book by its cover is a good thing, because I saw this cover on the high shelf and it just called to me. It looked mysterious and enticing, and I picked it up, which turned out to be a really good decision because I absolutely loved this book. So see, judging a book by its cover isn't always a bad thing. It's just don't do it to people or swans. They may look sweet and innocent, but those bastards will bite your fingers off. The book reminded me a lot of Time Traveler's Wife, but like the teenage version, and it was a lot less confusing. I haven't read too many time traveling books, but this one seemed like the easiest to understand because normally I'm just so confused with all the rules, and you can travel back but you can't see yourself or else you'll give yourself a brain aneurysm, and you can't try and change events because the world might fall to giant man-eating pudding, blah blah blah. This book was pretty easy to figure out, and I really appreciate that because it made it such an enjoyable read. We have basically one consistent timeline throughout the entire book, which is 1995, the time when our narrator, Anna, is in high school. And she ends up meeting Bennett, who is really from 2012, and he was only born in 1995. So she's technically 17 years older than him, even though when they meet, he's a year older than her. And I know it sounds confusing, but it really, if you read some of the other ones, it's actually really easy to understand because Bennett is the only time traveler that we know about. He doesn't have any rules that he really has to follow. He just has to stay within the time period he was born, so he can't go before 1995 and he can't go after the date in 2012 that he's from. But other than that, he has like no restrictions. They can go anywhere. He can take people with him. It's just so easy. There's no like second dimensions and messing stuff up and all that. Like if he sees himself, he just takes on himself. Like if he saw himself as a baby, the baby would disappear and 18-year-old Bennett would be in his place, which I know is really freaky to think about. Really fun to read a book where there's like no technology that we're used to. Like they'd be talking sometimes about how they need to figure something out, and I'm like, why can't you just call your friend on your cell phone? And then I'm like, oh wait, they don't have cell phones. And like she'd go running and be like, got my Discman, and they'd be like worried about like having CDs in the car, and I'm like, this is totally not what we do. But my favorite conversations between Bennett and Anna was when he was like, you don't know what a 21st century phone looks like, do you? And she's like, no, show me. He's like, I don't want to blow your mind, because could you imagine seeing a phone like that back then in 1995? I would love to do that if I was a time traveler. Just be like, meh. And I loved Anna so much. She was really funny and relatable, even for a girl growing up in 1995 who runs with a Discman? Is that even how you pronounce? I don't even know how to pronounce that. And doesn't have a cell phone because they weren't invented yet. Whoops. For some reason, I can't picture Anna as anyone else but Danielle Campbell from the originals. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the hair and just like her description. She just seems like the perfect Anna to me. And it's weird because I don't usually place people as book characters when I read it. Like Bennett, I don't really have one. But Anna in my mind, whenever I like close my eyes and picture her, it's just Danielle Campbell coming to my mind, and I think it has mostly to do with the way that like her hair was described, because she would like put this big way of describing it where like she tossed a pencil in it, and like when I pictured her hair up like that, it looked a lot like Danielle Campbell from the original, and then the image just stuck with me for a while. And I really think that if this ever gets turned into a movie or TV show, that they should definitely hire Danielle Campbell, because she is my vote right here, I'm telling you. The one fault I have with this book is Anna did start to annoy me a little during some parts that are kind of spoilers, so I'm not going to tell you, but I just felt like she could be really irrational, and she was kind of, I don't know, abusing Bennett's gift, I guess. I think she handled the whole, like, finding out he's a time traveler very calmly, and the fact that she's actually good at Spanish, I must give her major props for that, because me no speak a de Spanish. Like, oh my gosh, I could not go to Mexico for the whole summer. She just seemed really relatable. Like, she didn't seem like one of these characters who I strive to be. She's a character who I feel like I kind of am. I loved her whole travel plan. Like, I want to make a map like that myself of just places that I've been, even though it would only have like 3 pins. And my boyfriend, unfortunately, is also non-existent, but can't time travel, so I will probably not be able to go to as many places as Anna did, because I can't just close my eyes and boom, I'm there. The story itself was really great. It kept me so entertained. I really like Bennett's character. Going with the theme of what I said before about Anna, he was really relatable too. I mean, it's so great to have, like, yes, a Noah Shaw, you know, Jace Whalen type of character in your mind, like wanting him as a boyfriend, but I don't think it's very, like, achievable because they're basically perfection and like you don't see them on the street a lot. But I feel like Bennett is just an average boy who can time travel, and that's really cool because it's like we could find our own Bennett minus the time travel thing. And I know there's a sequel to the book, which I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's from Bennett's point of view, and I have it on hold at the library. I cannot wait to read it because I don't know if it's going to be after this book, but I think it's going to be like his point of view of this book, which will be so entertaining because there were a lot of questions that I have about Bennett's story. His family seems like douche canoes, honestly, so I'm interested to see his point of view. I really want to see his interactions with Maggie because I feel like that's one of the things with time traveling. Like, you could go back and see your relatives who have passed on in your real lifetime, or who maybe you don't remember as well. I want to see what happened when, spoiler alert, happened, and obviously I don't want to tell you any of these spoiler alerts. So if you haven't read the book, this is probably where we're going to say adieu for now. Go read the book and then come back and watch the spoiler section, which is about to start in 5, 4, 3, 2. I really like how the book started with Anna bringing the 16-year-old Bennett the letter to fix everything. I was kind of confused about whether she was a grown woman, because she would be like 31, right? Or whether she was the girl somehow, because I thought originally that they could both time travel. I was so confused. I don't know. I felt like the ending was really rushed, like with the letter and everything, and then I'm still confused about what happened to Brooke, because it's like the whole reason Bennett came back to 1995 was to catch up with Brooke, and then we find out somehow, like, oh wait, she's back home. So I'm like, can Brooke time travel? Did she get herself home? Did like another Bennett from maybe like 2014 or something come and find her and bring her back? Like, I was just very confused by that, but hopefully that's something that'll be wrapped up in the sequel, because I have no idea what happened to Brooke. Like, this was the whole reason, and now it's just like, where's Brooke? The end, I was just really confused too. Like, how did Bennett finally come back? Like, I don't get that. I get that she made the different choice, Anna, in not waiting for him and going on the trip to Mexico, but I don't understand how that made it okay for him to come back all of a sudden. Like, he couldn't, and then all of a sudden, because she decides to go to Mexico, it's like, oh yeah, I can time travel now. It was just weird to me. And Anna, like I said before, I really liked her character. I found her really relatable, especially the part with her hair, because my hair is a hot mess on a good day, and she seemed to have the exact same problem I did. I'm actually going to try the pencil trick she said, but I don't see it. I don't know how well that'll work. What I was hinting at before was that Anna annoyed me at times. Like, I felt she could be super irrational when she got mad at Bennett. One thing that really bugged me was when Emma was in the car crash, because I understand on the one hand where she is coming from, but I really didn't like when she just like kept pestering Bennett to fix it, because I felt like that was going against kind of his moral codes. And I get that, because basically any time traveling movie you've seen or book that you've read, the butterfly effect comes in and things go bad. And we even saw that in this one. It wasn't really big, but we saw that like Justin and Emma were really close after the accident. Well, at least Justin was close to Emma. Emma was in a coma, but then we saw that afterwards Justin tried to kiss Anna, and he wasn't really that obsessed with Emma, and Emma didn't really seem that obsessed with him either. So that, I think, was the effect that Bennett was talking about, and I think he made a really good argument when he said, I mean, it's awful, obviously, that she got in the car accident, but that maybe she needed to learn to not drive as fast, because it was her fault. Anna admitted that, and it was her fault. She was the one that wasn't paying attention to the road. So I was really annoyed with her for like making Bennett do that, even though it turned out okay. Bennett too was like strange with his morals. Like, he thought it wasn't okay to go back and basically like assassinate Hitler and stop World War II, but it's okay to go back and like these stocks so your family is rich. Like, I just found that very weird, and I kind of liked it though at the same time, because it felt like he could have been too like self-righteous and like, I'm just here to observe, but it's like he already broke that rule with his family, and like I said before, his family seems like a bunch of douchewads, so I don't blame him. The only two that I really like were Maggie and I guess Brooke, because we never really heard from her except for the fact that she disappeared. Bennett seems to have a really crappy home life, and I feel like they're just going to want to abuse his gift, and I'm glad that he, I think, decided to stay in 1995. That's what I got from the end of the book. I just really like Bennett and Anna's relationship. I thought it was really cute. I mean, the rock climbing date was a little extreme for me. I was like, this is like some kind of super trust exercise right here, but it was really cute. I liked at the end how Anna realized that she doesn't always need Bennett to take her to fancy places. She can show him her own secret places too that she wants, and I really like the fact that her family owned a bookstore, because that is like my dream come true. Overall, this book was really good and I really enjoyed it. I got it from the library, but I think I'm going to buy it. I'm so excited to read the next book. I can't wait to see Bennett's point of view. I hope it's good, and I hope it fills in the gaps I have, like, about Brooke and basically what happened in that, like, month and a half that he somehow couldn't travel, because that just doesn't make sense to me. And, like, the whole Anna thing, like, writing herself a note. Why could you not make it clearer? Like, I don't get why they found the letter and then all of a sudden she just got kicked back to 1995. Like, that part was just so confusing me. And that's where I kind of felt like it wrapped up too quickly. It's a really big book, but most of the, like, spoiler things are given away in this little, like, book jacket summary, I guess is what they call it. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't read that, because it tells you that, like, there's going to be a tragedy that comes. Oh, a devastating crisis that comes. And I thought that was going to be one of her parents died, because they were so cool and nice. And whenever you have a cool and nice parent, they die in a book or a movie. So, but it was Emma getting into that car crash, and then they ended up fixing it. Was expecting a crisis, so it wasn't shocking when I heard it. I'm hoping that, again, Bennett's book will make this more clearer to me and make the whole time traveling thing clearer. I'm going to put money out there right now, this crackpot theory right here, that Brooke is going to be a time traveler too, because I don't understand how she somehow managed to get back, because no one seemed to, like, wonder that. They were just like, you're back, and they were all excited, and, like, obviously I get that because they, like, love each other. But still, I was like, where's Brooke? Like, I was just so confused. Like, this is his whole reason for coming in 1995. And now he's just like, hey, I'm gonna stay with you, Anna, woo. And overall, I would highly recommend this book. If you see it at Barnes & Noble's and you are entranced by the cover, just buy it. Don't doubt yourself, because that's what I did, and I bought another book instead, and that book was boring as paint drying on a wall. So don't doubt your intuition. If a cover looks good to you, just buy it. Don't doubt it like I did, even though that other cover looked pretty good too. So, oh well, never mind. I would give this book 5 out of 5 stars. It seemed really long, and I was concerned that it was going to start to drag, but it never really did. In fact, it kind of felt rushed at the end. I felt like there could have been maybe like 20 to even 50 more pages, like just more detail to know like what happened. I just felt like everything was too perfectly wrapped up, almost like someone just snapped their fingers and fixed it. So I will link all the little Goodreads information to below, and if you haven't checked out this book, definitely do it, because it is such a fun read. If you have read the book, leave who you pictured as Bennett and Anna, because I'm super interested to know. And who did you picture as Emma? Because I kind of like the fact that she was British. Normally we always find the boys that are British, so it was cool to get a girl who was British. And Emma, I don't know about Emma's character. She kind of bugged me, but I loved her at the same time. So I guess I feel like Anna feels towards her. Alright, thank you for watching. And again, check out this book if you haven't. You will not regret it. I absolutely loved it. I finished it in like 2, maybe 3 days, and that's only because I had school where I had to put the book down, unfortunately, and even then we were watching a movie, so I kind of hid it behind my binder and I finished it, and I am absolutely like bouncing in anticipation to read the next one. So alright, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to me, ReaderSkeeter, and I will see you next time on the Book Talk. Bye!